So you know how there's some Pokemon that are just naturally stronger than others? Because they can just have like really good moves and high base stat totals. But one thing is not all Pokemon are powerful. You have strong ones and weak ones, no matter if they evolve or not. And in this video, we're going to focus on the really bad ones that you really shouldn't be using. And of those Pokemon, you get things like Delibird, a very cute, Christmassy Pokemon, but this thing is by far one of the worst ones ever. With a base stat total of 330, this Pokemon is so bad, there are literal baby Pokemon that are stronger than it. And you may think of that as an exaggeration, but no, the sad thing is that it's not. Here's a Pokemon that is a literal baby Pokemon, Magby, and its base stat total is 33 levels higher. And unlike Delibird, Magby actually has pretty decent stats where they matter. It has decent attacks and a decent speed. You could genuinely use this literal baby Pokemon better than Delibird. And even if you wanted to use a Delibird, you literally can't, because it gets only two moves. A random flying type move that I'm pretty sure is 80 base power, I'm pretty sure it gets Drill Peck, and then it gets a move called a Present, which is supposed to go for the whole Christmas theme thing. Now, it can get pretty strong when you're lucky, but there's a 50-50 chance that it heals the opponent, meaning that if you get really lucky and you find a Delibird, which they're rare by the way, and you use it in a battle, there is a 50-50 chance on whether you do damage or not, depending on if you use one of its two moves. And also, for the other Pokemon on this list, Unknown, it has the same freaking downside. Look at how weak it is. 336 base stat total. Who ever in the right mind will want to use this thing? And also, guess what? It only gets one move, Hidden Power, and it's only a 70 base power attack. And this thing's attacks are 72. What would you ever use these Pokemon for? I don't get it. Delibird's weak and Unknown is weak. There's baby Pokemon that could beat these guys up. And that's the thing in Pokemon. Not all of them are meant to be strong. There's good ones and there's weak ones. But when you have Pokemon like Unknown and Delibird, it's a severe letdown. Low base stat totals with a low amount of good moves that they can use. They're just not good Pokemon and they're very underwhelming. Just like the next Pokemon on this list, Spinda. Now here's the thing about Spinda. It gets decent moves. It's fairly easy to get in most of the games, and if you're playing competitive, you can just get one anyway. In Pokemon Showdown, you can get any Pokemon in that game. But the thing about Spinda is its base stat total. All of its stats are bad. Because literally, all of its stats for its base stat total is 60 points each. So when you want to use a Spinda, it is incredibly difficult because, like I said, all of its stats are incredibly low. Everything is 60. Do you know how difficult that is to be effective at hitting targets or taking hits or outspeeding when your speed stat is 60? Your attack stats are 60. Your defenses are 60. His HP is 60. Spinda can't be used for anything. It looks cute. It'll be a great plushie. I honestly want a plushie of Spinda. It would be very adorable. But in combat, it's also adorable. And that's not a good thing. In combat, you're meant to be durable, not adorable. You're meant to be strong and not cute looking. Spinda can't do much at all. So sadly, Spinda is kind of a letdown, which is unfortunate. It's a decent Pokemon with a good design. It just can't really be used for anything. If only it could have every move in the game. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, no, it wouldn't be cool because there's already a Pokemon that can learn every move, Smeargle, and it's still bad. It's honestly kind of worse than every Pokemon I've named so far. Except for Delibird. Yeah, sorry, Delibird. You're kind of always going to be bad. Nothing against you. Well, it is against you. It's everything that has to do with you. You're terrible. Anyway, we're talking about Smeargle, so let's get back to him. So anyway, back to Smeargle. It's another one of those Pokemon that you really can't use because its base stat total is 250, which I'm 99% sure is one of the lowest base stat totals of all time. It's at least in the top 10 for lowest base stat totals. It has not a single good stat to its name. Its best stat is its speed, which is 75%. That's not really that useful. in my opinion, any stat isn't really usable or good until it's like above like 85. 75 obviously is a smaller number. You can't hit hard, you can't take hits well, your HP is low, and you're rarely going to outspeed. Smeargle is useless no matter what, but it can learn every move, and that's what's depressing. You can give this thing any move you want, but trust me, it's not going to be useful. Now, what I think really messed this Pokemon up is it didn't get an evolution, which it needed. It even looks like it would evolve into something. It looks like a baby artist. It should have evolved into a bigger, adult, stronger artist that can also throw hands. I mean, here's an evolution I saw online that was fan made. This thing could have been cool. This thing could have been OP. Give it any move in the game. Give it at least decent stats that are like 80 or like 90. Even in that range, it'd still be OP. But no, we can't have nice things, and neither can Smeargle, apparently. Because with stats like this, you're not KOing anything. I'm sorry. I know you had hopes. I know you had dreams. None of them are going anywhere because you have a attack and special attack of 20. And speaking of 20, here's a Pokemon that like only 20 people in the world like. I'm one of them, by the way. This breaks my heart. But that's Parasect. I'm sorry. This thing isn't really good at anything at all. Mediocre speed, mediocre special attack, and mediocre health. All the other stats are decent. They're all right. If all the stats are like this Pokemon will honestly be pretty good in my opinion. Not in competitive, but in like a playthrough of a game. It wouldn't be bad. But since it's typing, and, well, yeah, it's typing, basically. That's honestly kind of it. This thing is terrible. I'm sorry. You outspeed nothing. Special attacks, good luck. And most of its good moves are special attacks like a Giga Drain and Gunk Shot and stuff like that. And then HP of 60, come on. It's not going to live any hits at all. And also, going back to the whole bad typing thing, this thing is 4 times weak to fire and flying. 2 extremely common types. Flying and fire are in like literally every single generation, and there's plenty of them. And it's also normally weak to ice, which you see on a lot of water types, which it should be strong against as a grass type. Poison, which are basically everywhere in competitive nowadays because they're strong against fairy type. It's weak to bug itself. It literally switched teams. It's a bug grass type, but it's weak to bug as well. And then it's weak to rock. Rock type Pokemon are defensive, meaning that if this thing comes up against a rock type Pokemon, which again it should be strong against, it won't really be able to KO it instantly because all rock type Pokemon are tanky, and then it just comes back with something super effective. And since your HP is 60, you're probably not going to live the hit. This does break my heart. I do like Parasect. It's a very good Pokemon, to me at least. But overall, combat-wise, it can't do anything. It's not the most useless Pokemon on this list. Don't get me wrong. Delibird is still here. But it alone, it can't amount to anything. This thing would probably lose to a Pidgey if the Pidgey knew Gust. I'm sorry. Parasect can't do anything. But do I know what really ticks me off? They gave it a shiny that actually looks good. Look at it. It's yellow and gold. Its shiny looks amazing. I would love to get a shiny Parasect and just beat up everybody, but I can't because they made it too weak. So with all this out of the way, it's the end of the video. There's no other crappy Pokemon that I'm going to make fun of today. Part 2 coming out, most likely. So have a good day, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.